All right. Hey, gang. Thanks for joining me today. I've been using the K8 Pro for about 6 weeks now. I think it's an excellent all-around mechanical keyboard. I've got no complaints. I always feel like Keychron puts out great products. I haven't had any issues with their keyboards before, and you can see I've done a lot of their reviews. So I'm very happy with this keyboard. If you want to walk away from that, great. Thank you. But I do want to break down this box. I feel like there's a lot of stuff on here that might be confusing for some people. They might not know what is what. And I've just been getting some feedback from some of the people that have been enjoying my videos. And I want to provide just a little bit more information and just help you understand what you're seeing on this box here. Here's the keyboard itself. I did put on some different key caps. These are the Keychron KSA profile keycaps. I'll show you some B-roll here. You can see they're just taller. They have more of a cupped design on the top that just cradles your finger a little bit. And I just really like the way that they look and the way that they feel as I type. First, says Keychron K8 Pro, a TKL mechanical keyboard. What TKL means is 10 keyless. And as you can see, the keyboard just simply is been chopped off where the numpad used to be. At the bottom, it says an open source customizable keyboard for peak productivity. So what this means is you can hack into this keyboard and really make it work for you by creating macros, which is just a combination of keystrokes, but you can do that with just one key press. Or you can even reassign what a key does when you press it. For instance, right here that has insert and delete, but if for some reason you wanted to swap those and have delete be on the top and insert on the bottom, you could very well do that, and then you could change those keycaps to designate what that key does. Or maybe you just know what that key does and you don't have to do that. Some people like to have different layouts where the letters are actually in a different place. There are several different types of layouts which I haven't really played with, but I've seen them before. And you could completely redesign the way these keys are laid out so that you have a custom keyboard for you. That's what we mean when we say open source, customizable keyboard for peak productivity. Flip it over here. There's a lot more information on the back, but I'm just going to follow the box. This is what I'm literally looking at here. We'll see some pictures from the website and some stuff too as we go along. But TKL layout, check. We already covered that. 10 keyless. Dual compatibility, and you can see right here there's a picture of Mac OS and Win OS, which basically tells you you can easily use this keyboard with both Mac and Windows. And it even comes with extra keycaps so that you could switch out. I use a Mac here, so I've got Option and Command, but you could switch it out to have the Windows and the Alt key right here instead. So open source firmware. We talked about that on the front. You can use a software called VIA to customize your keyboard and the software within it. But something that I didn't say is we could also change the backlight effects. You can use the software to change the backlight effects, the way that those work, which we'll cover those backlight effects in a little bit. Wired and wireless. Wireless means Bluetooth. There isn't a little dongle, USB dongle that you can use to connect wirelessly with 2.4 gigahertz, which is usually a stronger connection. But there are some keyboards that Keychron has that do have that dongle. But this only has Bluetooth connection. You can connect up to 3 devices, as we can see here below, which means you press function 1, 2, or 3, and it'll connect between those different devices. But you can always really easily just connect function 1, connect to any computer really quickly. I always forget which computer it's connected to, so I always just reconnect it all the time. And then it comes with a USB cord, which you'll see here in this opening B-roll. There's a bunch of supplies that come with this keyboard. You do get the USB cord. You also get those extra keycaps, which I mentioned before. It comes with a keycap puller, and it comes with a switch puller. So you can pull out these switches and really change this keyboard around to make it one that you like. I prefer more tactile switches that have more of a bump we have a little bit more resistance as I'm typing versus a red switch, which is typically more of a speedy linear switch, which doesn't really have much resistance to it. And then there's the blue switches, also known as the clicky switches, that just make a lot of noise as you're typing, which can be fun sometimes, but I don't think it's for all the keys. Pair up to 3 devices. Covered that. It's really easy. You can see here there's a picture of a computer, there's a picture of a phone, and there's a picture of a tablet. So that's basically telling you can connect to any kind of device that has a Bluetooth connection and use this keyboard with any Bluetooth device. Screw-in stabilizer. Stabilizers are also called stabs, and those are the little guys that hold up the outer parts of your longer keys like space and enter and the other ones. This really makes a difference in your keyboard. Like, this can really make a big difference. If you've got a bad one, it can really ruin your experience on a keyboard. And if you have a good one, the good ones, you don't even realize they're there because they really complement the keyboard and the key that you're using. So stabilizers can really make or break your keyboard. The ones that come with this keyboard are great right out of the box. You don't need to do anything to them. You don't need to tweak them. You don't need to modify them. I personally prefer to modify all of my stabilizers. I'll usually take my keyboard apart, take the stabilizers out. Sometimes I'll clean them out and re-lube them. Sometimes I'll just take them off altogether and put in other ones because I like to tinker. I like to change things. I like to make them customized, and I like to make them my own. So yeah, I do like to mess with those a little bit, but you don't need to with these. The way this keyboard comes, especially this K8 Pro right out of the box, this thing is working great. Battery life, this means nothing to me. I really prefer, except for you can see right now it's not plugged in, but I like to keep my keyboards plugged in most of the time. I don't like to be scrambling for a cord when my battery dies. And something it just kind of annoys me personally is that I'll have to come in and press a key to wake up the keyboard and then press the key again to wake up the computer. I just prefer to come in and boom, push that once and it wakes up the computer, and that always happens when your keyboard's plugged in all the time. But some people prefer to have a wireless keyboard. Some people are used to that at this point. So you can do either one. It tells you that you'll get up to 4 weeks of battery life with the backlight disabled. But personally, again, my personal choice is I like to have the backlight on. So again, I like to keep it plugged in so that it's always connected. I'm not worried about the battery draining, and it just is always going to have that solid connection. And that brings us right into the lighting effects, which is the next one here. It says 10 plus light effects to switch from. I don't really like the way that they worded that, but there's a button right here with a light bulb, and as you press that button, it changes the light effects. So you can change between 10 different light effects, 10 plus light effects with that, but you can also press function and Q and A to change that lighting effect. And you can touch other buttons. There are other key combinations that allow you to change the hue, saturation, speed, and color of all those lighting effects. So you really have, I'm not going to do the math, but you really get a lot of lighting effects to choose from in this keyboard. The last thing here, it says sound absorbing foam. Because of the way it's made with a little bit of aluminum and a little bit of plastic, it really benefits from having the silicone foam at the bottom. That really, it adds weight to this keyboard, and it also helps to deaden the sound. Let me turn this off. It's nice. I like it. I think this is a really great board. Personally, for me, it's just a little bit too big. I've gotten used to using even smaller keyboards that take up less space on my desk. Like this little 40% Wonder right here. I love using this keyboard. Not all the time. It's not 100% practical, but I do like to use it a lot. And then this is what I use most of the time. This is a 75%. It's got function rows, a few things here, arrow keys. I love my arrow keys. And I really like to have a knob on my computer to control the volume. I've got a volume knob here, here, here. I really like the volume knobs. Give me that control right there. Maybe I should bring this wrist rest out. This is the Keychron silicone wrist rest. I really like it. It's cool to the touch. It's got some nice give to it. It's got this like honeycomb pattern underneath, so it really pushes. It's got some give. I really like it. I think it was like $15. It's not expensive. It's a great pickup. The keycaps here, you don't need to get keycaps. These come with great keycaps, in my opinion, but I prefer to have a taller keycap most of the time. So that's why I switched these out. You can get these. They've got 5 different colors, I believe, of the KSA keycaps. This is just the purple or smoke one. I think it's called smoke. But they've got these purple accent keys I thought were cool, so I put these on for this episode here. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if there's anything you'd like me to try with this keyboard, let me know. I'm going to leave you with a couple sound tests here, so you can hear what it sounds like right out of the box, and then hear what it sounds like with some of the modifications that I made to it, just because that's what people do with these keyboard videos. But I wanted to change gears a little bit to really cover everything on the box and demystify some of the information that is included on here, because it can be this can be overwhelming for someone who doesn't know what they're looking at. What am I even reading? What is this? So I wanted to break that down and provide that for y'all. Again, leave some comments, and I'm going to ask you to like and subscribe. I don't really do that, but if you enjoyed this and if this served a purpose for you, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more of this content, I've got more keyboard videos from my history, and I've got more stuff that I'll be making. And if you like the music in the background here, this is my own music I've been making with Udio, an AI program that really does a lot of the work for you, but you can kind of guide the way the music goes. But this isn't a commercial for Udio. Check out my music, Ferrosynth, if you like my music. Thanks for joining me. Appreciate you spending some time with me, and look forward to catching you another time.